Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. You're going to ask me and why I'm holding this can, and I'll explain in a minute. I hope everybody's doing well, and I just want to remind anybody as we get started on this stream, if we have any interruptions in the stream tonight, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you, and like I said, it's like you may not get notifications. You might have to go back to my page and, do that way. Okay. So just letting you know ahead of time, if there's any interruptions, you may think, oh my God, you only did one stream and it's over and whatever. I will get right back on. Okay. So just putting that out there ahead of time. Okay. So I want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. So I would ask you to please be respectful of everybody else in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, no nothing else, okay? So here I am holding this lovely can of lima beans, right? And you see on here it says Steve's Lima Beans, okay? So the question is, why am I holding a can of lima beans and why do they say Steve's Lima Beans? We're going to get to that in just a real quick moment. So anyway, again, just like I said, please be decent. If you're not my moderators who are lit up in blue, we'll give you the boot, and JJ has the big boot there to show you what he will do. So just so you know. Okay, so my buddy and I, one of my best friends, I mean, probably is my best friend. If I had to break it down easily, I said there's about three guys that I know I could count on, and he's absolutely one of them. And so, yeah, Steve is absolutely my best friend. Reese is a very, very close second. So, no disrespect to Reese, but I've known Steve longer. So anyway, Steve's Lima Beans. Why Steve's Lima Beans? We're gonna get into the topic here in a minute too, I promise you. So we've had conversations for a long time, and he's always told me how much he hates lima beans. I mean, he hates lima beans. He can't stand them, right? So I told him, I said, when SHTF happens and you get to my place, I said, your first meal is going to be lima beans or you're not eating. So it's been a standard joke for a long time. So I actually bought a can of lima beans, okay? And those are marked. These are Steve's Lima Beans. So when SHTF happens and Steve gets here, however long that takes, those are his lima beans. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And I know Steve's watching and he's probably calling me an a-hole as we speak, but that's okay. So anyway, all right, we're going to get into the stream. Why is there going to be food shortages? What's going on? What are going to cause food shortages? And a lot of things actually are already happening to cause food shortages. So we're going to go over some of the really important things. And I think a lot of things people don't think about, okay? I want to do two other things before we get into that topic, okay? So just bear with me for a moment. I received a package in the mail. And this is from Michael, and I won't say his last name, but I had asked for, and he just sent us, get this the right way, all right, United States Coast Guard, all right, so I don't know if you can see that. I'll go from here and then all the way up so you guys can see, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but my father was in the Coast Guard during World War II. Obviously, he's long gone. He's been passed away for several years now. But my father was in the Coast Guard during World War II. So, Michael, thank you very much for the flag. I will absolutely fly that. So all I need left now, guys, any of my Navy followers and my Air Force followers, you guys send me the flag. I will get them up and they will fly here at the homestead. Okay, I promise you, they will definitely do that. Okay. The second thing I wanted to show you, and I think this is a very, very important prep that is overlooked a lot. I've talked about this a little bit before. I went down last week and did a shop at Save-A-Lot. Okay. I stopped back down there the other day and I went there to pick up one thing, and that was this. Okay. Instant non-fat dry milk. Okay, good storage life on that. Lasts a good long time. I will not even take it out of this package. This will go into 5-gallon buckets. and that will get packed away. They had 8 of them at the store, and yes, I bought all 8. Okay, I think it's a really important thing to have. Again, in a post-event, guys, and I think it's really something that I want to always try to drive home. You got to have a variety in what you're drinking. Having water is great, but being able to change up that taste of water is going to be a really big thing. Being able to have, if you have your dry cereals like your cornflakes, your shredded wheat, and those type of things, being able to, instead of just pouring water on them or eating them dry, being able to make up some milk, even if it's dry milk, it's a really big thing. It's going to make a big, big difference. Psychologically, it's huge, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you ahead of time. So let's talk about food shortages and why we're going to have food shortages. Food right now, there's a lot of shortages going on in the country all over the place with different things, okay? We've talked about lumber, and it's pressure-treated lumber is really not in demand right now. It's just not there, okay? So, and I got plenty of green tea, Harvey Black. I have cases of green tea. So it goes on sale, and I buy it by the case. That's exactly what I do. So, but there is, again, there's you have. So here's something. Okay, so let's talk about it. And it's right now, the hardest hit areas are where in the country? You're talking Florida, Texas, California. California and Florida just had the record in both places for the number of deaths in one day. California, I don't know what their number was, but I know California added like 9,000 more cases today. Florida, I think they added 9,000. It was one of the two added like, I think maybe it was Florida that added 9,000. But no, I think California had 6,000 new cases today. But California is now number 1 in the country as far as cases of coronavirus. New York, we still lead the way as far as deaths go. We have 32,000 deaths here in New York. But like today, we had 750 new cases of coronavirus in New York today. And I think we had like 6 deaths today. So the hot spots are obviously in the South. Okay, so Florida set a new record. I think they had 216 deaths today. And California, I'm not sure exactly what their death total was today, but they're setting these records. So why am I bringing this up? Because we're talking about food. All right, Florida, California are big areas, especially California, guys. I know a lot of people hate California and like to put California down, but California alone is the 6th largest economy in the world. So I want you to think about that. A lot of our food that we have comes from California, right? So what is the problem? The problem is, of the new cases, I think it was, like I said, I think it was 6,000 new cases in California today. 46% of those new cases were from the Hispanic community, okay? So you go, well, how does that make a difference? Well, that makes a difference because the main people that pick our produce work in a lot of those factories that do, processing everything. They're of Spanish descent, South American, Mexican, wherever, Venezuela, wherever, all these people that come up here, they pick our fruit. The migrant workers that pick our fruit and stuff like that, they're the ones that are the lifeblood, believe it or not, of this country. And a lot of people don't realize that. Because here's the thing, and I mean, I'm not trying to be racist saying this, but white people and black people will not go out and harvest these products for the amount of pay that they get to do it. They won't do it, okay? A lot of people don't realize, a lot of the migrant workers that come across the border work in, these great big huge farms and pick the fruits and pick everything like that. They live, and so here's the other part of the problem too. We'll get to that in a second, but there'll be a whole bunch of them in one house. They'll have like 20 people in or better in a house. They save their money and they send most of that money back home, because whatever they're making here, if they work here for like 6 months or a year, realistically, they can go back down to Mexico or what other country, South American country that they're from, and they can live like a king for 5 years. So it's worth it for them to make that sacrifice, and a lot of that money gets sent back there to take care of their families, and that's what happens. So what is part of the problem too? When you have, like, let's say the farmer has a couple of houses. What they do is they do bunk style living, where they will put 4 to 10 people in bunks in one room. So they provide housing, but they like stack them in like cordwood. So now you have all these people jammed together in this close quarters, and then they're working either in factories, processing the stuff, or out there harvesting the stuff, and they're all together all the time. 46% of the new infections in California are from people with Hispanic descent. Okay, so that's a huge issue, because I'm telling you right now, like I said, white people and black people will not go out and pick those crops. They just won't do it. I mean, and I'm not trying to say that it's beneath us or whatever, but people, they want to be paid a lot of money, and the people in South America, for them to, get whatever they get, and they ship it back home, they, like I said, they can live like kings. So it's definitely an issue, Yeah, it's the pay. Exactly, Jenny. Jenny just said, yeah. I mean, if they were paying more, people would do it, but they're not. Okay. And so what happens is you're not having these crops being processed and picked. So that's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. And so, that is part of the problem. And again, when you're jamming people in like sardines, the meat processing companies and stuff like that, you have a ton of people getting sick. And if you guys remember, the president was like saying that it's a priority to keep those meat processing places open, because they provide so much of the meat that we have in this country. I mean, it's a huge thing. And people don't think about those type of things. They don't think about the process of what it takes. They just go to the grocery store and they get what they want and stuff like that. Guys, I see we're at 1,300 people in the chat, and we're at 306 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. It really does help with the algorithms as well. So again, thank you for doing that as well. But I wanted to mention something that I mentioned in my earlier video today, and I'd like you to do. I'm going to do a shout out for a channel, and it's somebody that you would not expect me to be doing a shout out for. There's a channel called Fresh Out, and the gentleman that runs the channel, his name is the Big Hurt. They call him the Big Hurt. Big dude, big muscular weightlifting guy. He got a 10-year federal prison sentence, and he did his time, and he is out. And he does a series on here talking about prison life and what to expect, and trying to get people steered on the path of staying away from going back to prison. Okay, I think he does a lot of good. Very, very intelligent man. Made his mistakes, owns up to his mistakes. Has definitely changed his life around. So the channel is called Fresh Out. So if you type in Fresh Out, please go there. And like I said, he don't know I did this earlier today. He does not know. I've never contacted him. I just really like his outlook. He's very, very positive. He explains things and talks about, all this type of stuff that's going on in the world, and, what a lot of these people are going to be facing if they go to prison. So I think it's a very educational thing, and hopefully it'll wake some people up and realize to stop doing stupid stuff. But so the channel's Fresh Out. Go check him out. Show him some support. Make sure you tell him that Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over, and he'll have no idea. So you don't just say PN1, just put Prepper Nurse 1 sent me over. And he's got a big channel already, but I think he's got some really good information that can help a lot of people, and I think it's worth a watch. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you guys. And like I said, I really, really like his channel. Okay, so anyway, but the debt clock is going backwards. Lori Austin question. I don't know about that. I thought we're getting worse in debt every day. Hey, Cassandra Lewis. I work at a warehouse for dairy. Hold on a second. I want to read your comment. I work at a warehouse for dairy power. They often take expired product, reprocess and repack. Expiration date is suggestive. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. The expiration date on a lot of stuff, it is subjective. It's best buy is what they normally are. And thank you so much for that donation as well. Hey, Mac, that many people in one house, that's where they come up with Mexican standoff. Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, it's just, but you figure it's like it's a dormitory style residence, and think about how many people you could pack in one house. And thank you so much for the donations as well. You got to understand something else too. A lot of the people that are coming up are undocumented workers, right? So if I own the big farm and I'm the big farmer and I want you to go out and, pick potatoes or whatever, cabbage or whatever the case may be. And I say, okay, there's no 15-minute breaks in those type of jobs, guys. You're lucky to get, time to eat, and, you better ask permission to go to the toilet, okay? That's how those type of situations work. There is no union. There is no rules. These people do this, and they're the ones that are basically really the ones that keep us going here in this country. We can grow a lot of stuff. We can produce a lot of stuff, but somebody has to pick that product. And because of the rate of pay, certain people won't do it. They just won't. Hey, IMPIWAARA. Does the U.S. really have food shortages? It's not a matter of food shortages. The product is there. It's being able to process the product. That's the problem. Thank you for the question, and thank you very much for the donation as well. That's the major issue. We have the product, but do we have the people to process that food? To pick it, to get it in? I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. Potato farmers dumping tons of potatoes and just reburying them because they couldn't get them to market. There was nobody to process them. Okay, I want you to think about this. Okay, so here's another thing that just recently, I don't know if you guys saw the announcement or not. McDonald's is closing 200 stores. 200 stores to McDonald's is really nothing, but let's put it into perspective. I'm the potato farmer, and let's say my contract is for those 200 stores. That's a lot of potatoes because you got to make your potato, your French fries and all that, okay? When you have that type of situation happening, there's a lot of people that are not going to have jobs anymore, and it goes all the way down the line. So just think about, again, with this whole pandemic that has happened, okay? You have had restaurants shut down. Everything is shut down. Well, the people that were providing all this produce and all those type of things, beef even, okay, for these restaurants, what happens then? When there's no demand, you may have the supply, but if the demand is not there, what happens to the farmer then? He loses his shirt, okay? So people need to think about that whole process again. And again, we got to have somebody picking that, okay, when we get into the fall up here, we have all kinds of cherry orchards. We have all kinds of apple orchards up here, a lot of apple orchards up here, and so somebody has to go pick those apples. That's how it works. So, the migrants come up and they go in there and they pick the apples. I have a dairy farm, probably about a mile away from me. It's a big farm, and they have several Hispanic workers that work at that farm. I don't know if they're documented or undocumented. I don't know. It's none of my business. I stay out of it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Okay. But there's a bunch of guys living in one house, and you see them all the time walking back and forth from there to the farm. It's hard work. This is a thing too. People don't understand. Farming is brutally hard work. And unless you're a huge, milker or whatever, you're not making a whole ton of money. And then what happens if the crops don't come in and you have issues? Something else to think about, guys, and I want just to put things into perspective a little bit. We're going to talk about China for a second. Lots of flooding going on in China, a lot of issues going on in China. So with that one dam having all the issues and stuff like that, they've had to release a lot of water trying to save this freaking dam because of all the issues that they're having. Well, that floods out, farmland. That's what ends up happening. They're flooding out farmland. They have a tremendous amount of people in China, as we know, right? 1.4 billion or something to that effect, 1.5 billion. What happens to that food? They got to have food. And I want you to put this into perspective for a second, okay? What's the alternative if they can't feed their people? What's the alternative? You go to war, okay? You go to war, because then you can focus on that. You can work on that. People are going to die, of course. But the thing is, you're trying to acquire new lands, growing areas where you can grow your food and stuff like that. China's a player, guys. China is a big player. And if they're not going to let their people starve. They're not going to do it. And if they have to go to war to feed their people, they're going to do it. and think about who is number one on their list right now. We're already, realistically, somebody said to me the other day, and I thought that this was, Chinese owned Smithfield Pork. Yep, MD's just said that. If that dam goes, how much food will they need? Exactly. And that's another thing to think about. If that dam goes, first of all, how many people are going to die? And how much food is going to be destroyed? Okay. There's a lot of issues going on. But what I want you to think about, somebody had mentioned to me earlier today, we're already at a silent war, with China. Okay. That's already happening. There's a lot of stuff going on. And, we have, in the Midwest, again, I talked about this the other day, we're the breadbasket of the world. With the grains and stuff in this country, we feed 40% of the world. If there's an issue with that, we lose, you look at last year with everything that happened last year, and now you look at what's going on this year. And this would be something that I would ask the people, anybody's in the Midwest that deals with this, were they able to get crops in this year? JJ just said, Ed, rice is on the shortage list. Okay, well, there you go. And that's really not surprising. That's really not surprising. But thousands of children are already dying in Africa because of the food shortages because of COVID. AP article today, follower of Jay just said that. Yeah, and then let's see. Prep your food and supplies, but what about your heart and mental health? Best Life just said it. That's a really good thing. We'll talk about that, in a second. I do want to address that because I think that's a great question. Your mental health is so huge, it's unbelievable. But with the shortages of things, and again, a lot of it is strictly because there is not the manpower to take care of it. That's what people are not paying attention to. I'm going to tell you what, in the United States, we are so spoiled and we are so used to just walking in and getting whatever we want, whenever we want it. People are not thinking, planning ahead, being smart about stuff. They're just not. And that's definitely an issue. It's a huge issue. And people are just not paying attention. Okay. So I want to talk about physical and mental health. Okay. A lot of people with everything, we got to remember every day we're being inundated every single day. COVID, every day. Right. And then on top of that, rioters and protesters, loss of jobs, all kinds of stuff. Our rights as Americans being eroded away. Lots of very, very stressful things in the news. I kind of touched on that a little bit the other day about sometimes you need to turn all that stuff off and go do an activity that gives you peace. Okay. It's a big thing. But mental health is very, very important. This causes what everything that's going on is very stressful, which hurts the body, which hurts your immune system. Okay. Getting proper rest, making sure you're taking care of yourself, taking your vitamins and everything else like that. It's hugely, hugely important, especially now. Trying to be as physically active as you can is a smart thing to do. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't care anybody watching this channel, if you're 600 pounds and you're watching my channel, okay? You can do something about that very, very easily. Hold on a second. Morgan Davis, best ham radio for an EMP down grid down prep. That, you know what, there are so many different choices that you can do. You can go cheaper as far as a ham radio goes, or you can go more expensive. That's really kind of your own individual preference. So I don't have a certain one that I go, oh, this is the best. Probably people in the chat could answer that question better for you. Bofang is one that a lot of people use for a ham radio. It's cheaper, but it's something that's better than nothing. It's really up to your personal choice and what your bankroll is. The more money you spend on the ham radio system, the better it's going to be. I mean, that's the reality of that, So thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for the donation as well. But, like I said, guys, your mental health is really important. So make sure you're taking care of yourselves that way, because everything that's going on, I mean, when you're thinking, okay, and let's go with my case for a moment, okay? My daughter's getting ready to go back to college. She goes back to college on the 16th. That's stressful to me. I would rather have her stay home. But she's an adult. She's going to make that decision. She wants to go back to school. And I get it. I understand. Not my call. I wish it was, but I'm not going to stop her from doing that. She's an adult. She's going to have to make her own decisions. But, I will obviously be keeping an eye on things. And if things continue to get worse, which unfortunately I believe that they will, that's going to be, a bridge we're going to cross down the road. Okay, so, but guys, I see what are we at? 1.6 in the chat. We're at 592 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you again if you would shoot a thumbs up for me to show support for the channel. Thank you very much for doing that ahead of time. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. So thank you for doing that as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications. So I'm going to do a plug real quick on my website, and then we'll go back on to our normal conversation of what we're talking about today. On my website, prepreneurs1.com, obviously a lot of people know, maybe some people don't, I started working with a new company, okay, JDAGA, which does CBD and hemp products. If you go either in the description below, you will see the link. You can click on that link there, or you can go to my website at prepreneurs1.com. The link is there as well. You click on that, it will take you to them. If you decide to make an order, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that's the number 1, not O-N-E, okay? If you do that, you'll save 15% on your purchase. So just putting that out there ahead of time. Also on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community, which is a great opportunity for you guys. We put that together for you. It is totally free to join. So that you'll see on the right-hand side of the website at preprenurse1.com. You click on Prepper Nurse 1 community. It is totally free. You do have to register, though, okay? So hold on. Donna Smith, the U.S. supplies 40% of the world's food. I agree. Migrants do the hard work. One of the things to think about is hold on a second. One thing to think about is if the farmers use migrants, farmers don't pay Social Security tax and federal withholding or unemployment. And that's another thing that helps the farmer. You're right. Thank you very much for the statement, Donna Smith, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. But again, guys, if you register, again, no credit card information is asked, okay? So if you go there, you register, a lot of message boards in there, a ton of message boards. You can look at all that. If you're looking to connect with like-minded people, it's a good resource for that in your state or your country. Just a loose affiliation, association, if you're looking to try to form a group, whatever you want to do, that opportunity is there. So please go take advantage of that. That's for you guys. Also on my website, we have, if you, on the left side, you'll see store. You click on that, Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods. What we have available at the store, in my store, is what's available at the website right now. If you're looking to add to your long-term freeze-dried food storage, definitely take advantage of that there. So talking about Legacy real quick, and I just want to say this, and then we're done with the business part of it, if you will. I spoke with Amy from Legacy last week, and she told me that any back orders that are still outstanding, okay, they should all be caught up by the end of August. And I really hope that's true, because I still get emails a lot from people. And I understand if you ordered and you're waiting and you want to know what's going on, but they're catching up. They said they should have everybody caught up by the end of August. So I appreciate all your guys' patience and waiting. Some of you have waited a while, okay, but you will get your food. I promise you, you will get your food, okay? So just putting that out there. So anyway, Simple Life Prepper said, I finally got my Legacy food. Awesome. I'm glad. You know, I'm going to tell you what, guys. It drives me crazy too, because I'm going to tell you why. When you guys gave me your orders, I put your orders in right away. Then it's out of my hands. Then it's up to Legacy. And when they ran into the issues with everything that happened, they were way behind, way behind. They never expected it to be as bad as it was. But JJ said, Ed, what's up with the seeds people are receiving in the mail from China, poisonous seeds? You know what? I've heard about that. You know, they're saying is if you get seeds from China in the mail, and a lot of it was going to the Midwest, which is really weird as well. They said, turn that over, you know, either to the police or whoever, you know, let them know. Don't open the seeds. Don't, you know, take them out. Don't plant them and stuff like that. Turn them over. If I got something like that in the mail from China, I definitely would turn that over in a heartbeat. You don't know what the agenda is. It's happened as well, from what I understand, not just in the United States. It happened in Europe as well, up in Canada as well. So it's not just in the United States. But don't use the seeds. If you get seeds from China in the mail that you did not order, Lady Kickboxer 23 said, I got them. Oh, there you go. So there's somebody right here that got them. Don't use them. Turn them over to the authorities and let them know, okay? So that's really important, you know, as well. So definitely do that, okay? But we are facing some very, very tumultuous times coming up, okay? With everything that is going on, seeds arriving on Rhode Island now. Bryce just said that. Wow, that's not good. Seeds are also being sent from Malaysia. That's so weird. Yeah, that's Asif said invasive plant seeds, question mark. You know what? I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. Nobody gives something for free if there's not something attached to it. You know what I mean? So I would not trust that at all. I would not trust that at all. So, but very, very interesting, that's for sure. You never know what the game plan is, the agenda is, but like I said, I wouldn't trust it. So definitely, if you get those, turn them into the authorities. I think that's the best way to go with that. So, yeah, don't throw them in the trash either. Pam Sloan just said that. That's great point, Pam. Thank you for saying that. Gigi said, I heard that they're invasive. Yeah, they probably could be. Hold on a second. I want to see what. Hold on a second. Pelosi just ordered every House member to wear a mask in the chamber. Follower of Jay just said that. Well, you know how I feel about the mask, guys. If you have a proper mask that is designed to work and also eye protection, I'm gonna tell you what I just saw the other day, and you can't make this up. You just really, truly cannot make this up. Gentleman out on a bicycle, not a soul around him, had a face shield on, the whole face shield. And I'm just like, really? You can't make it up. My favorite, though, my all-time favorite, honestly, still, is when you see people driving in their car and they have the mask on. You're in your car. It's just you. Why do you have your mask on? I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. But, it is what it is, and there's not much we can do about that. But, I just shake my head. I just absolutely shake my head. And then I watch what people are using for masks, and it's a freaking joke. It's a joke. So, again, but what are you going to do about that? I see that all the time in my neighborhood. So funny. MD's had just said that. Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, I look at people and I go, you're driving in your car by yourself and you have a mask on. They're sheep. Yeah, well, they are sheeple. Yep. You're right about that. RK, hold on a second. I just want to give credit who said that. Where is that now? Hold on. Oh my goodness, where did that go? Lost that. Oh, well, I'm sorry. But yeah, they're definitely sheep. Asif just said, hold on a second, I want to read this. Heard a story that the driver got out of her car in front of her for not social, got out of her car and got mad at the car in front of her for not social distancing between cars. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, you know what, guys, I'm going to tell you what, the insanity, and it goes to show you how easily, realistically, I mean, let's be realistic here for a moment, how easily people are manipulated. Okay? It's like, it's absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. But now, I don't know if you guys, I think we did talk about this before, but like Walmart and a couple other places have now decided they're not going to be confrontational to people that refuse to wear a mask, and they're going to let them shop. So, but I saw that. And, they changed their policy of forcing everybody to wear a mask. And they had some people flipping out, I guess, on them. Flipping out. So they stopped that. So now they're allowing that. Like Walgreens as well. I guess they were trying to. I mean, you'll see it, in the windows of the store. You have to have a mask on to come in. I'm telling you right now, and I'm being 100% honest, and I always will be, I don't wear a mask. I won't do it. Okay, because I realize as a nurse, realistically, how effective these masks that people are wearing, and they're not. And when you have on that paper mask, all right, you're actually probably doing more harm to yourself than you are getting protection. Now, if you're sick, now here's the exception. If you don't feel well and you're sick and you have a cold or something like that, or you think you have a cold, by all means, wear the mask to protect other people if you have to go out. That makes sense, okay? But other than that, very ineffective. Very, very ineffective. And it's probably doing you more harm than good. So, I want you to think about the people that have to go to work all day long and wear some kind of mask. It's not good. Michael Howell said, I told Walmart if they want my money to get out of my way. Yeah, there you go. And I think that happened a lot. Yeah, you know what? Terry Weed said, Ed, you wore a mask when it first started. You know what? And I did. When it first started, see, here's the problem. Okay, so here's the problem. When this whole thing first started, there was so many unknowns. There are still so many unknowns with this whole thing, okay? The problem is when you are wearing certain masks or you're wearing your bandana or whatever it is you're wearing on your face that's not designed to protect you, okay? It's not doing the job. So that's one of the reasons why I won't, okay? And again, there's so much misinformation out there. I mean, this party over here says it's airborne. This party over here says it's not airborne. So there's that issue, okay? There's so many issues out there. What treatment works? You know, when you have a video go on and you have a bunch of doctors, and I even heard this, they weren't real doctors. They were fake doctors, okay? People probably have seen the video now where the doctors came out, said certain treatments were working, these things were working, and they're effective. Facebook was taking that down as fast as people were putting that up, okay? They took it down. They said it was misinformation, that it wasn't true. These are doctors. These are doctors on the front line treating people. And I want you guys to remember something, too. And Asif can attest to this because obviously he is a doctor. The number of medical staff that have died treating people on the front lines from this virus, there's a lot. A lot of people have died. And I want you to think about okay, so let's think about this a second. These are a lot of doctors and nurses getting the virus. They're treating people that are sick. What are they wearing? What are they wearing, right? They have a mask on. They probably have a face shield on. They are they're completely covered. Their hands with gloves, the whole outfit, the whole thing. And they're still getting sick, okay? And you think that your bandana is going to protect you out in public? Okay, so, with no eye protection or anything else, taking no other precautions. People aren't even wearing gloves anymore either. I don't know if you noticed that. Everybody's got the bandana on or some kind of something over their face, but they have no gloves on. So now here's another thing I want you to think about. You have something on your face. What are you doing? You're touching it. You're adjusting it. You're doing all this type of stuff. It's just human nature, okay? Let's see. Hold on a second. I want to see what this person said. Somebody said, the N95 rated mask helps, but there's no guarantee a slippery virus. Yep, exactly. Exposure load is the key. Exactly. There's another great one. It's just, that's, what are you going to do realistically? I mean, so if you are having a standard for everybody to use the same type of stuff that is going to work, I have no problem with that. But it's just like so all over. I mean, I saw, God, I couldn't even, we were out today and we had some running around we had to do today. And I'm like amazed. I'm amazed at what people are using to cover their faces with. I'm just amazed by it. But, it just, it is what it is. So, anyway, so that's just, that's where I'm at with that. But it's craziness. And again, if we had solid information, if we had true facts, instead of, like I said, every time you turn around, somebody's coming up with something different, okay? Everything it's all over the place. It's absolutely all over the place. So it's just absolutely crazy. What we're going to do real quick now, guys, we're going to have to do the egg count. We'll do the egg count really quickly. And while we guys are giving your guesses of how many eggs we ended up getting today at the homestead, I see we got 1,700 people in the chat. We're at 790 on the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask you guys again, please shoot a thumbs up for the channel to show support for the channel. Thank you for doing that ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. Okay, so thank you for that ahead of time as well. Again, if you are, and of course, I want to see a nice big number of thumbs up too. I'm not going to lie. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you also subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Sorry, let me just stop this a second. Hold on a second. Let's see, we have. Okay, so if you had the same guess, is Okie Forge, all right, with 12 eggs, then you are correct. Now, here's the funny thing. I never did give you an egg count from yesterday. We only ended up with 7 eggs yesterday. We ended up getting 12 eggs today. Crazy. Just makes no rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason. But yeah, good day for eggs today. Yesterday was a bad day. It's bizarre. You just never know. But they lay steady. They're good birds. So I know, like Heather and I tonight, we had gotten a watermelon the other day. So we cut up like half the watermelon, and I take the rinds out, and I give the rinds they get it all. They get all the scraps. They love it. They eat everything. It's so funny. But yeah, chickens are good birds. Good birds. So we had some freaking rain here today. Holy crap. So I did my video earlier, and I talked about the storm we had. After I did that video, came in the house, the sun had come back out again. We had another storm roll through. I mean, and it was coming down. Unbelievable. Actually, my mom called me just before the show, so she won't be calling during the show tonight. She's like, I know you got your show, so I'm not going to call tonight. And I laughed. She's so funny. But she was telling me that in Genesee County and Monroe County, they had a tornado watch for today. And we don't generally get tornadoes up here, so that's pretty wild. But yeah, somebody's Purple Hemi just said, I love storms. Me too. Absolutely love storms. I think they're the most fun. I love to sit and watch them, especially if there's lightning. Union Mike 108, the reason why there's a lot of confusion about masks is because the issue has been changed from public health crisis to a political crisis. Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. It's definitely been turned into a political thing. It absolutely has. Wolfang, how is the greenhouse going? You know what? I'll be honest. I have not done anything inside the greenhouse in a while. I need to get in there. I'm not, but I'm going to tell you what. It has been so hot up here this summer. And you got to understand, once you get into the greenhouse, it's even hotter. So I will get in there and I will get to work on it. So here's what I'm thinking. And this sounds terrible, but I'm always going to be honest. I'm going to wait till it gets a little cooler. Get in, get things taken care of inside, get a heat source. I'm going to run a pipe from the house to the greenhouse and then get a fan on there and run the excess heat because we get so hot in here in the wintertime, and run that heat into the greenhouse like 24 hours a day. So it stays warm in that greenhouse. So that's my game plan for that. I will get things set up. I will be doing aquaponics. I promise you it'll happen. I do want to get it going, and I want to show everybody everything. So it's not just going to turn into a storage area, to be honest with you. The potatoes are great. The potatoes are doing very, very well. So, Ed, do you plan on putting a cover for your house? I don't know what you mean, Heather Parker. A cover? I don't understand what you mean, to be honest with you. I have no idea, but glad your sister is getting a storage shed or shelter with you. Yeah, so here's the thing okay, let's talk about that a second. So I was like on video the other day, and I apologize because I was trying to hash it out in my head, what I wanted to do and trying to figure it out while I'm doing the video. So I was like all over the place. I have changed my mind again. I'm not digging up the fruit trees, okay? What I will do, and people, and I listen to you guys, just so you know, move the fence. And, I can redo everything. And what I can do is change the dynamics of how the fence is so that I'm going to be able to get through there forever and ever and ever. Now, I'm having the stonist being delivered tomorrow morning. All right. What I have to do is I'm going to have that dumped. I have my 4-wheeler and I have my trailer. So I can either transport the stone where I want to put it that way, or I can ask my neighbor to come down with his tractor and scoop it up and put it where I want it. I have to wait till Margie comes up. Now, I like to spot over by where the pond is going to be. She may want to be back over here behind the house, so she's closer to the house. People have said it would be better to have it closer. You're probably right, okay? So I'm going to ask her exactly where she wants it, and then once she tells me where she wants it, I'm going to get the stone in place ahead of time. So that's going to all happen soon, okay? So just putting that out there, just kind of giving you an idea of what's happening with that. But yeah, so she wanted, so anybody that doesn't know what the story is, my sister Margie wants to have a building up here so she can put supplies in it. And also, if things continue to get worse, she has something that she can bug out too. And, she wanted to make sure of that. And I said, absolutely not a problem at all. Okay. That's my other sister, Margie, and then there's Becky. So, so Mike is working behind me. Yeah. I had to think a second. He's over here working on their place. He was working on drywall today. So I will show you what he's been working on too. I'll do a video, but I don't want to be intrusive and bother them. Had anything on the homestead? Hold on a second. You're worrying about the most when a storm hits from the homestead, floods, solar panels, etc. You know what, JJ? I'm in a pretty good spot because behind me it goes straight up the hill. So a lot of times if we get a wind, it comes in from the west, all right? And that's where the wind usually blows that way. But usually a storm coming up over the hills, it goes over the top of us. I mean, we'll get a lot of rain, we'll get the wind and stuff like that, but we really don't get hit really, really hard. So we really don't worry about that too much, and everything is built pretty solidly. So, I'm really lucky in that aspect. Prepper Patty said ammo is short in Texas. There's something we can talk about really quickly as well. A lot of ammo shortages all over the place going on, okay? A lot of ammo shortages. Very, very difficult to get things. The last time I went out to get ammo, and I won't tell you when that was, but the last time I went out to get ammo, you could still get double-aught buck, but getting 12-gauge slugs was very slim pickings, okay? Other things, like they're limiting what people can buy on 223 ammo because so many people have AR-15s, and so they're really limiting what you can buy. So, like, you can only buy, and we're going to go with New York because obviously I live in New York. They're limiting people to 100 rounds, so 5 boxes of 20 at one time. So that's happening a lot, okay? That's what they're doing. So that's that's what's happening up here. But ammo, a lot of gun sales have gone on. Now here's somebody had asked me a question. Actually, I kind of want to address this really quickly. If you are a brand new gun owner, let's say you see what's going on, you got nervous and you're apprehensive, and you decided I need to get a gun now. So you go out and you buy yourself a shotgun or anything, whatever you buy. I would highly encourage everybody that is a brand new gun owner that has never dealt with guns, doesn't know anything, the first thing about guns, get some training. Now, there's a couple ways you can go about that. Seek somebody out in your neighborhood that actually knows what they're doing with weapons, and hopefully they will teach you, or go get professional training. It is out there. People will teach you how to handle guns properly, safety issues and things like that. I mean, it's just simple things of like, if the gun's loaded, you either point the barrel at the ground or right up straight in the sky. You never walk around and hold it like this. You know what I mean? But and also, keeping your finger off the trigger. Never put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot. Okay? So there's a lot of things that people don't realize. They don't know the safety of things, and so they really do need to learn that. And I think that that's important as well. So I just want to put that out there as well too. So if you don't have any kind of training, you have no idea what you're doing, and because of everything going on, you're nervous and you went out and you bought a weapon, have somebody teach you, or like I said, get professional training. Hey, Harvey Black II. Thanks for all you do, Ed. FYI, website is not working. My website, you know what? I was working. I checked, I think, did you write me the other day and say it wasn't working? Because when somebody said that it wasn't working, I went to my website and it was working fine. So maybe it's difficulties on your end. Anybody else, actually, if you want to check, if you guys would check, and let me know if you can get into the website or not. Again, preppernurse1.com. Oh, people don't understand the kickback of a gun. Yeah, there's another thing, especially with a shotgun. They don't realize that there's a kick. So you'll have people just, or different weapons have a kick, you know. Even an AK has a kick, but it's not anything bad. An AK is a joke as far as a kick goes. A Mini 14, a AR-15, all those really don't have any kind of severe kick. But when you're talking shotgun or other rifles, they definitely have a kick. You got to know how to properly place it in your shoulder so you don't hurt yourself, and make sure if it's scoped, if you're looking down the scope, you better have that locked into your shoulder, because otherwise you're going to end up blinding yourself. And there's issues that happen that way as well. Was down for a while. Was down for then a while. It's down again today. I'll have to look and see. Anybody else having a problem with the website? Somebody else just said yes, it was an issue for them as well. Hold on a second. Hey, Firestarter Survival Kits, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Yeah, don't put your website seems to be acting up. Okay, well, thank you guys for letting me know that. I will try to figure out what's going on there. Hey, L. Gibson. Also, don't stick the muzzle end of the gun in the ground like the guys that NFAC did. LOL. Yes, yeah, definitely don't put your barrel of your gun into the ground. You get that plugged up. Yes, and I saw that they did that. I love that. They're the not effing around crew. Yeah, they end up shooting 3 of their own people by mistake because of stupidity, because of not being able to handle firearms properly, and then they're putting the barrels of their gun into the ground. They really know what they're doing. I'm so scared of them. I'm going to tell you what. I would be more concerned with a group of ex-military guys that actually knew what they were doing, that were working together, than I would be of, idiots that all dress up and think that they're tough guys. It's amazing to me. It really, truly is. So, but that happens all the time. So, nope, website is not loading. Huh, that's weird. Yes, follower of Jay said best to get to professional training. All right, I will see what's going on. Hold on a second. I am going to really quickly, while I have you guys, I'm going to shoot a text out to my IT guy. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Shoot a quick text, and then he'll check that, and we'll see what happens. So, but let's see. Do you have fans in the greenhouse? Building a hoop house next week myself. Yes, there is fans in the greenhouse. I have solar fans in the top of the greenhouse. So they're basically, if the sun's out, they're working. So, yep, I have 2 solar fans up at the top of that. So. JJ said at the website only loads for Steeler diehard fans. Oh yeah, okay. No, if it was it would not load for Steeler fans. No, I'm only kidding. Come here, please. Yep, the egg count passed. We did 12 eggs today. So if you hadn't heard that earlier, we ended up with 12 eggs today. So. People would like you to make a sighting and say hello. And if you have a cat too, no cats around. Okay. Miss Heather, say hi to everybody. Oh, somebody said the website loaded for them. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's lagging or something. I don't know. That's weird. Or we'll have to see what's going on, guys, with the website. We'll get it figured out. So, there's Miss Heather. Are you chilling today, my darling?
Yeah, I stopped falling off. So
oh, did you? Okay.
Like 45 minutes.
Fun. So that's good.
To play something with my friend.
Okay. Well,
See.
people just wanted to see you and say hello. So you may go do as you wish now. Thank you.
And the shirt today, if anyone's wondering, is Harley Davidson.
Yes. Believe in yourself and be prepared. Thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Oh, it's always got to be Harley, guys. That's all. There's only one kind of bike, and that's a Harley. So no crotch rockets in this house. Had somebody just asked, are you feeling ready to go back to school? Yes, she said. Gun stores need to install drive-through for ammos. Yeah, right? Yeah, you go up and you place your order. I would like this and this and this. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you don't have proper training, definitely get proper training. Indian is a good bike too. No, don't get me wrong. Indian is very, very nice as well. And she wears some Pink Floyd shirts and such as well. Oh yeah, she likes Pink Floyd. She likes Queen. God, I'm trying to think who else. She has a whole bunch of them that she likes to listen. She likes a lot of the 80s music, so she listens to a lot of that. And then she's got a whole variety of other things as well. Hey, Donna Smith, have you seen or can you recommend a good magnet to hold a handgun to in a car? You know what? I saw a thing. Actually, it was on my Facebook feed, and it was I don't know the name of it, but it was literally a thing that you could stick to the car, that you could put your gun right there so that you had easy access to it. It was really pretty cool, and that's obviously for a handgun. But yeah, I would look. The best way I would do that is, if you put in a search engine for that, then you'll be getting those advertisements come up on Facebook. We all know that, right? So that would be my recommendation. Try doing something like that. And there's a lot of different choices out there. So thank you for that question, and thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. Yeah, AC/DC. I love AC/DC. Love Bon Scott. Favorite one of my favorite songs. It's A Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll, because it's realistically the only hard rock song that they play the bagpipes, and I just think that that's pretty cool. And I like that. I think it's awesome. So